Are you thinking of making your home bigger? You need to watch this. Here's what you must consider for a home addition. Do not start making plans before you speak with the city for permits. You might have some restrictions you need to consider, such as the size of the home extension that you want according to your lot size and the position of your home on your property. Can you dig? You need to see if there are any restrictions regarding the digging on your property, and if so, you might need to consider an extension that is on pillars only. So it's best to get all this information first. It will reduce the risk of having to make any major changes to your plans. Once you have applied for a permit or certificate of authorization, you are ready to get started with your plans. These will need to be approved by the city as well before you start renovating. Work with an architect that will understand your needs. You might also need an engineer if you're touching any supporting walls. Make sure you discuss the budget you are willing to invest with these professionals so that the project doesn't get out of hand. It is more challenging to reduce a dreamy new project plan because your architect went all out without considering your budget. So talk budget first. Let's look at the different types of home additions you can consider. A home extension on pillars is the least costly way to extend a home. It's the perfect option if you're considering adding extra space on your main floor only. It can be an extension to your living room, adding a dining room near the kitchen, or an extra living space for an office or a play area for your kids. The big disadvantage with this type of extension is keeping the room warm all year round. So because of the opening underneath the extension, even with insulation underneath the structure, it tends to get colder during winter. So just take this into account if you decide to take this route. The foundation on a home extension can be there for structural support only if you're digging 4 feet. But if you want extra space in your basement, you'll need to dig 8 feet. So you'll need to consider an opening through the basement foundation wall to access this new space, but it's definitely worth it because you're doubling the square footage of your home extension. Keep in mind to add a legal size window if you intend to turn the space in the basement into a bedroom. Now we're talking major renovations on all floors. So to add a second story on your home addition, it is strongly recommended to build the whole structure on a foundation. Depending on where the extension is added on the second floor, you might need to change the existing layout to accommodate this new space by possibly breaking down a few walls. Ideally is to try to create the new opening through an existing window or any other openings. It will reduce the cost for any structural changes. To add a garage attached to your house, it must be done on a foundation. Many might consider building it on a slab only, but we don't recommend this. If possible, use the existing side door, if there is one, to access the garage from the home. If you already have this opening, you will not need any structural work done. This is a great way to add space on your second floor. An engineer will need to verify the structure to see if it could sustain the weight of this second floor. Otherwise, you'll need to reinforce the existing walls of your garage. You will also need a fire-rated ceiling to your garage to protect the room up above, and obviously this is mandatory. Now the fun part, designing your new extension. Here are a few tips to make sure you stay on track. When you're considering your window placements, think of which view you want to prioritize and how to keep intimacy at the same time. So avoid aligning your windows close to your neighbor's windows or any busy streets. A good architect will take this into account. Always remember the purpose of the room so you don't overdo it on windows. For this, figure out the layout of your new space so you know where you might need some more wall surface for a couch, a fireplace, or a TV, for example. You don't want to overdo it with the windows and then feel limited for the furniture placement. It's really important to plan ahead. Consider the length of the opening between the existing home and the new space. If it's a 4-season room, expand the opening as much as you can, so this new space will feel like it's part of the house. But if it's a 2 or 3-season room, you will need to have a door or a patio door to close it off during the winter. Don't forget about the ceiling. Do something that will give character to the room and make it feel a little extra special. For example, cathedral ceilings with exposed beams will surely give a wow factor to the space. Something to think about. For the exterior, make sure you choose materials that are in harmony with the existing home. If you can't have the same brick or cladding, pick finishes and colors that look beautiful with what's already there. You want the addition to feel like it's a whole with the rest of the house and not make it look like an addition. Do not compromise on finishings. Pick wisely, think long term, and make sure it fits well with the rest of your home. One last thing, make sure you're working with an experienced, reliable contractor. Wishing you a happy, easy renovation.